entertainment, culture, and most of all, business.
Hello and welcome. This is 93.7, of course, Money FM. And on Facebook, we are Money FM Zambia. You are joining us for the live broadcast. And of course, we get to talk about strategic planning right here on accounting and business. Along with me is Mr. Shadrach Lusambo. Of course, together we will be right here to talk about strategic planning for the family and of course in terms of business. Now, strategic planning is a process in which an organization leaders define the vision for the future and identity. Yeah. And identity of the organizations and goals and objectives. Well, the process includes establishing the sequence in which goals are realized. And something you should actually get to know about strategic planning is that it's something that takes a long time, but of course, something that's really important when it comes to the family and of course also to the business.
All right. I think that indeed that's fundamental. I'm not sure my video has just disappeared, but anyway, we're going to be looking at this planning. I hope our team behind is going to be able to make sure my video is back. I'm not so sure. All right. Okay, fine. There we go. I think I'm back. So, guys, yes, there we go. We are looking at strategic planning, and this is a fundamental area for both businesses, families, and individuals. Strategic planning is so important, Stephanie, that it is actually a topic in a course at a master's degree level, which we call strategic business analysis or strategic business leader. So the all leaders that for chartered accountancy are required. It's mandatory for them to learn this particular topic. It's very important. So now this is going to help us to start with small businesses and also families, but because year in year out families sit down, they get to make goals, they plan for their families, what they want to accomplish, what they want to achieve, and unfortunately things don't go according to plan. So I'm going to be able to do a presentation here to help us with strategic planning. And let me just bring this one on board. So there we go. So that there is our presentation, guys. Okay. So we are looking at strategic planning. And the reason for this is that this is particularly important. So first of all, we want to understand what is a strategic plan here, Stephanie. So a strategic plan, guys, in simple terms, we want to say it's a plan that you prepare that lasts at least a period of 5 to 10 years. So the word strategic in itself simply means a long period of time. So now what I want us to look at this from today, I want us to look at this presentation, Stephanie, from the business point of view, and then we're going to go and get into the family and personal point of view. So to start with, it's important for us to understand the organization context of what is called strategic planning. Right. So if you look up here, I've got subheadings, I've got strategic lenses, organization context, and of course I've got missions, goals, and objectives on the other side of things. So we are going to get into these things in much more deeper details to be able to indeed explain strategic planning in much more better sense. So now let's get into it. All right. If we look at the organization context, we must mention that it's a bit more different. Strategic planning application depends, number one, whether you're doing with a small business or large business. So if you're a small business or you're a large business, how you apply your strategic plans are going to be a bit more different, okay? Depending on the size of the company, Stephanie, because some companies are so big that they're able to invest monies, huge amounts of monies that are going to give them returns maybe in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Some companies are small, they can't afford to spend so much money, it's going to come back after 10 years. So how you apply strategic planning in your business really depends on the size of your business, as you can see here. It may depend on the size of the business, but also it may be able to depend on different, of course, other factors. So that's one of them. the size of business can play quite significant. Let me just change the color here to just make it more less, yeah, like that. Yeah, maybe like that. Yes. So that can be an issue. But again, the other area how you may want to apply strategic planning can also force you to look at the type of industry that you're looking at. Okay, is it a manufacturing industry that you're dealing with, or is it a service industry where you're trading from, or is it I'm fine, thank you, or is it a trading industry? So, Comfort, there's a lot of feedback from your end. Stefan, able to mute your speaker, please? I can get some feedback. Are you able to mute your speaker?
All right. Okay.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, it's gone. Thank you. All right. So what we are saying here is that when it comes to strategic planning, first of all, before you implement the strategic plan, this is a plan that goes a very long way. So you want to consider these things first of all. What size is your business? Because if your business is small, you want to be very much realistic in how you apply these plans. Seek advice from professionals, but also consider the type of industry where you're operating. Is it a manufacturing industry? Is it a service industry, or are you just trading? Like somebody goes to Soweto, you order vegetables, and then you come and sell in Dibala, or somebody who goes to South Africa or Dubai, you order clothing, shoes, then you come and sell somewhere here. So are you trading? But at the same time, before you implement a strategic plan for your business, you also need to consider the regulatory environment where you're operating from. That is extremely, extremely important, particularly because some environments are more dynamic than, of course, other environments. So you want to consider that as well. The other issue that you want to consider here before implementing a strategic plan is whether is it a profit or loss company that you are dealing with. All those factors may play. All right, so that is another issue you want to consider. But again, the other thing you want to consider before implementing a strategic plan, is it a private company or is it a public sector? So these things are important. For example, if you are dealing with a profit or not organization, it's difficult. It's different because these people don't make profits. Their aim is about service. So you could be a manager in this company, or you could be a business owner, or you could be an employee. So strategic planning covers all areas. Then, no matter where you are, whether it's a household level, business level, public sector level, it is all covers all these things. Now, there's something here, Stefan, that may be able to help you understand strategic planning better. And one of those things is this here. And this is what families fail to do most of the time. More often than not, families are unable to do strategic planning because they don't take into account this box here. All right. If you can see, this box contains mission, goals, and objectives. Like you did mention earlier, that a strategic planning puts into consideration the mission of the company, what are the goals of the company, and of course, the objectives that are specifically defined to target a specific issue. So this is what, even at family level, most people fail to do here, Stefan, because when people are sitting, for example, we're in October right now. Some families, when we were in December last year, 2021, they sat down, they even went for possibly overnight prayers. They prayed for things they wanted to have in 2022. They wrote down things. But come October 2022, what have they accomplished? Zero, nothing. Why? Because they did not follow these steps when setting those goals. They didn't understand this for their businesses. So this is a thing that every business owner, every entrepreneur, every household must be able to understand the value of strategic planning. Now, if you look at here, I have three things that are quite fundamental for this to work. For your strategic plan to work, you must have this. This is extremely, extremely important. All right. So, what is a mission? The mission is the purpose of the business establishment. For example, if you are a business, why do you run this business? What is the purpose? What is the big purpose? So the key components for you to understand the mission, you must understand what is the purpose of this business you want to start, or this business you've started if you've started already. But again, also look at what are the values, beliefs, and moral principles behind, of course, this mission. And if you are observant, you look at companies, some companies are able to show you this in a much more better perspective. And I'm going to be able to show you what this looks like if you are dealing with a business. There's what we call, when you're dealing with businesses, what we call company profile. And I'm gonna go to the company profile later at some point. I'm gonna show you what that looks like on a company profile, whether it's a business and things like that. But in the meantime, I just want us to first understand what this is. But later on, I'm going to be able to show you what this one looks like when you go to the company profile and how these things look like on the face, of course, of the company profile. But in the meantime, I just want us to stick to this for now. All right. In the meantime, we'll stick to this. So now let's keep moving. Okay. So now let's get back here to our chosen motion. So we are here now. We are on the mission. What helps you understand the mission as the business owner? What is the purpose of your business? What are the values, beliefs, and moral principles? What strategies do you want to put in place for you to be able to accomplish that mission? So if you are setting a plan, what is the mission? That is the purpose, all right? If you're a business, what are the core values? What is the belief behind this mission? And what strategies are you putting in place so that you can be able to compete? And where are you going to compete? And how are you going to grow? So these are some of the things that families and businesses must look at if they want to grow their businesses or if they want to achieve their family financial goals, all right? Have the purpose. What values? For example, in families, you may want to stop spending unnecessarily. You want to reduce unnecessary responsibilities. You want to protect your cash flows. You want to be living a life that reflects the income that you are earning. Don't live above your means. So you may want to put off some certain values in your family and household, but also have some strategies. Maybe you want to be saving 10 to 15% or 15 to 25% or 15 to 25% of your money every month. So you have a strategy that is going to help you achieve that particular mission. All right. So a strategy is simply a course of action that gives you an advantage. All right. So that's how you understand the mission. But also the mission has got to be able to involve things such as the policies and the standards of behavior. It could be behavior. It could be culture, conduct, paradigm shift. So why is that important for somebody who's preparing a strategic plan? Because for a plan to work, there must be a specific standard of behavior. This is why some families or some business owners prepare. No, in 2022, we're going to hit sales revenue or profit by 10%. Come 2022, they can't reach that. Oh no, as a family, 2022 want to build a house, want to buy a plot. Come October 2022, they've accomplished zero goal. Nothing. Why? Because they did not implement or put in place policies or standards of behavior or cultures or conduct or the mindset that supports their mission. So for you to be able to achieve your strategic goals, there should be a mission, there should be a purpose, there should be some value. So this is simply like a manual book that you must follow if you want to get where you want to get. And this here, Stephanie, is where a lot of business owners, especially SMEs and families, have done very terribly. All right, they simply go to Soweto to order things because their friend ordered. Some people just wake up and say, no, I'm gonna go to buy charcoal. My friend sells charcoal. There's business. No, I'm gonna go to Mozambique to buy fish. They go to fish and they make losses. Why? Because in the first place, they did not establish these things here, because these things here are quite fundamental, of course, for anybody that wants to achieve a specific objective. Now, we said you have to understand the mission before you set the plan. First, have the mission clearly defined. Now you can go to the goals. Set specific goals that helps you achieve that mission. You have a mission here. The purpose why you're establishing this business. The purpose why, as a family, you want to buy that plot so you can build that house. So now, can you set some specific goals? Now, the word goal has been misused by a lot of people world over. All right. Now, the word goal simply means, or in other words, we can say goals is simply the intention behind the mission or action. So you have this mission. What is the intention behind the mission? This is why before you set a goal, can you make sure the intention is good? Because if you have a bad intention, it will be difficult for you to achieve that particular goal. Right. So the state of mind that drives individuals or organizations to do what they do is what we refer to as the goal. The thing behind what you want to accomplish. The state of mind behind what you want to accomplish is what we say that's the goal. So simply, you must make sure that goals are clearly defined and identified. So for goals now to be set properly, each goal that you set as a family must be able to achieve or target a specific objective. So if you're a business person, you set a goal. Each goal must meet a specific objective. For example, you want to improve customer or delivery or service, whatever it is. You must set goals that target specific objectives. Customers were complaining last year. This time, what are you going to do to reduce on complaints? Okay, let's this specific goal to reduce on complaints. Bam, you set that goal. So each goal that you set, even as a family, you want to go and build a plot, buy land and build a house. What specific goal have you set that is going to achieve that specific objective? And this is where a lot of businesses, Stephanie, and families must pay much attention and see to it that it works to their favor. So when we talk about an objective is simply the expression of a goal in such a way that it can be measured. All right? That's what we mean by an objective. An objective is simply the expression of a goal in such a way that it can be measured. Objectives must be constructive. They must be specific and they must be smart. Of course, this requires you to have smart objectives. If you're going to set a goal or an objective that is smart, you need to be extremely sober. So now I want to just take you through a little bit here of how you should be able to set goals that achieve specific objectives. Because we are saying here that an objective is the expression of a goal in such a way that it can be measured. Example, as a dad and a mom, you sit down in December 2021. It is December 31st, 2021. You say, hey, mommy, what are you going to do? We need to build a house. Okay. We need to build a house. So that is your goal. You want to build a house. All right. Now, how are you going to get to that part where you build a house? There must be objectives. You have a mission, you want to build a house. So you must set goals, and those goals must target specific objectives. So what do? Okay, we are going to be saving 10 kwacha per month. How are we going to measure in this? Every month on the 5th, we are going to be checking to see whether we accomplish that saving of 10,000 kwacha. If not, we ask ourselves, why didn't we achieve this? So when you set a goal, can you set key performance indicators, things that measure your progress? If you are in February, you said you want to build a house by June, ask yourselves, now we're in February, how much have we saved towards buying that land? How much have we saved towards building that particular house? If you've saved less than you should, then you ask yourselves, why are we not moving according to plan? What went wrong? What must we do better? That's how goals and objectives must be set. So there's an acronym which we say, if you're going to be successful at planning as a business and as a family, you must set what is called SMART objectives. Guys, cannot overly be emphasized. Okay, SMART objectives cannot be overly emphasized, but because objectives that are not smart will simply give you BP and headaches. All right, so the word SMART is an acronym, and it means these things here. All right, it means these things. Guys, give me some feedback if you can hear me, please. I need some feedback. If you can hear me, let me know. That would be fantastic, please. And if you are following, please, if you have a question, type it in. Stephanie and I will be able to respond. So now we continue here. We are saying now goals and objectives must be smart. The word SMART is an acronym to mean the following. The first S on SMART means specific. All right. The first S means specific. It says when you are setting objectives, each objective that you set must be able to achieve a specific goal. All right. So each goal should have a specific objective. That's what we're talking about here. All right. So if you want to set a goal, for example, say, no, we want to be comfortable, but what are you going to do for it to be comfortable? No, we're going to build a house. Be specific. Okay. What type of house do you want to build? All right. What is the size of the house you want to build? Okay. Which location do you want to build this house? All right, if you don't have land yet. So you set specific goals. But again, if each goal you set or each objective should be measurable. What this means, it means if you said by October or by June as a family should have owned a plot at least, each month that comes by, you should sit yourself down as a husband, as a wife, as a business owner and say, okay, fine, my business, this is July. As a family, this is July. What have we achieved in line with what we set? Today is July. We said by October we should be able to start building our house, and we needed to save about 25,000. How much have we saved now that we're in July? So that you can see, okay, fine, we are behind the schedule or we are ahead the schedule. If you are behind the schedule, you ask yourselves questions. Why are we behind the schedule? Oh, it's because of so and so. No, our mom was sick. No, we made that loss. We lost a big plant. What can we do for us to recover what we have lost? Okay, let's put forth these measures. So there should be some key performance indicators. Don't just set goals, you write goals, blah, 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 kula ishinga fibata, mwalemba limbama goals, awali mena wakashi, mwalemba mle ishinga bata, boom, wana overnight, mwapepa mwalala. No. That's not how it's supposed to be done. You must have objectives that you can measure. This is very important. Number 3 is also extremely, actually, this is one of the most important parts, because if you set goals that are not achievable, you set goals that do not have achievable objectives, it is going to demotivate you. This is why I say, as financial advisors, we tell you that save between 15 to 35% of your income. All right? We are not forcing you to save what you can't afford. All we are telling you is that can you save between 15 to 35? If you can't afford 35%, can you save 15%? If you feel 15% is too small, can you jump to 17, 18, 20, 25, all the way up to 35? The goal here is for you to save something, because you don't want to go and set a goal that's going to discourage you. I'm going to give you an example of a person who gets, say, let's say we have this guy, okay? Let's say a person gets 20,000, right? A person who gets 20,000 and then says that they are going to be saving about 9,000. This is very unrealistic. A person who gets 20,000 wants to be saving 9,000. That is very realistic. Do you know why we disguise this kind of saving? It's partly because we are saving something very big compared to what you need to spend. If you do that 9,000 divided by 20,000, you're going to find that it's about 45% of your income. So this person says they are saving about 45% of their money. It is going to disguise them eventually. Before the month ends, what this person is going to do is going to go back to your bank account and withdraw that money and begin to use it. Say, no, I'm going to replace. Nobody replaces the money when they use it in their account. All right? It's only very few people do that. So we discourage you from setting goals that are too big or that are unachievable. Can you set achievable goals? Start small. If you earn 20,000, for example, can you save a 1,000 kwacha? Because this 1,000 kwacha is too small compared to what you're going to remain with. You won't have your heart pumping fast, wanting to run to your money or your bank account to go and withdraw the money. No, because what you have to spend is bigger than what you've saved. So you start small. When you begin to save small amounts, when you begin to achieve these small goals, what do? You begin to go to much more bigger goals. Now, next month, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500, up until you reach a point where you're able to save up to how much? 35% of your revenue. That means you've been investing things and things like that. So do not set goals as a business or as a family that are too can be taught anything. For you, an adult, you know the reality of things. Set something that speaks to your reality. I think this is a very, very important part. So even if you save 1,000, do not think that you are behind in life. You are not. It's not about how much money you make at the end of the day. It's about how much money you remain with, how much money you save. Some people make 100,000, all of it disappears. Some people make only 5,000, they save something, and they keep progressing in life. So when you are setting goals, strategic planning requires you understand the value of setting smart goals. That is, of course, number 3. So, guys, you have any question? After this one, Stephanie and I are going to be able to have a little discussion, and then we're going to be able to continue and explain more. So, number 4 here, I want to go to realistic goals. Again, I've said this. Can you be realistic when you're setting goals? You get a salary of 20,000. All right. You want to buy a plane. No, this is our year. I receive. Amen. Amen. No. Can you be realistic in the way you set goals? Because being realistic shows maturity. Being realistic also shows that you are aware of your situation. Set goals that are relevant, goals that are result oriented, goals that are able to motivate you to want to do better next time or to do more next time. So be realistic. I can't wake up today and say, hey Stephanie, I'm gonna buy a plane. That's my goal. I write in my diary. I'm wasting time, ink, and paper. Because it's not realistic. I don't even have an airport to start with. I don't even have enough money to buy a plane. I don't even have a pilot. I have nothing at the moment. How can I buy a plane? So can you set realistic goals? If you're a business, set realistic goals. All right. For example, I'm going to give you an example of our company here. After this one a little bit, I'm going to be able to show you a bit of just this example here. For example, let's get back to our company here. I'm going to show you this example here, Stephanie. When you are setting goals, goals must be realistic. So, for example, I'm going to come here and I'm going to say, okay, this is our company here. And okay, there we go. All right, so there we go. So I hope you can see that. So that's our company structure. Can you see that, guys? Please let me know if you can see. Stephen, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
All right, fantastic. So that's our company structure. So we have our own goals. For example, what is our mission? What are our corporate objectives? What are our core values? What are our goals? We want to at least train up to 1,000 business leaders and businesses by year 2030. It's a realistic goal. In the next 7 years or 8 years, we should be able to have trained over 1,000 businesses or business leaders. I think that's very realistic. So we can't say we want to train 1 million businesses in the next. No, that is unrealistic. So when you are setting goals, even as a business, can you please set goals that speak to the reality of things? That helps you quite a lot. Now, other than that, the last one also is very fundamental here, comfort, for somebody setting, Stefan, sorry, for somebody setting goals. These things happen. When you stay with somebody for too long, sometimes their name just keeps on popping up, all right? Yeah, these things quite happen a lot. So now, there we go. So what we have here now, we have, again, this last part. Number 5 on objectives. Time-related or time-bound. Some people set goals. December, husband and wife, business owner with employees, they sit down, they set goals. No, we are going to buy a new truck. We are going to build our own office. No, we are going to build a house. We are going to do this for our children. We are going to do ABCD. But there's no deadline. When you don't have deadline, your goal must have a specific time. If you want to build a house, can you give yourself a realistic deadline? Okay, we want to build a house. At least by November, we should have saved up 20,000, 25,000 to acquire a plot for ourselves. And now we're going to do it. My wife, you're in employment. I'm on employment. You'll be putting 1.5. I'll be putting 2.5. At the end of the month, we're putting 4,000. In the next few months, we should be able to save about 20,000. We're going to buy what? We're going to buy land. Realistic goals. Because from what you get, you can afford to lose to save 1.5. This one knows from what they can afford to save how much? 2.5. Then put together, be realistic, set a deadline. A deadline makes you do things in line with what you've set. If you have no deadline, you keep postponing. Those people who save money today in Airtel or bank, whatever it is, tomorrow morning, what do? They go and withdraw, they give someone else, no, I'll replace, don't replace, because they have no specific deadline. So strategic planning, guys, for either a family or a business, as a way it wants you to be able to behave. So these are some of the first fundamental ways of setting a strategic plan. Now, before we go to strategic options, I would like Stephanie, if there's any question from you or from the audience that we may discuss before we get into strategic options. So in the meantime, what we have looked at, guys, we have looked at what strategic planning is.
Yeah. Talking about the family, how does the average family, that depends on the hand-to-mouth
the
type
importance
of situation.
Mission, goals, objective. to look at. Yeah. So I would like to
Yeah.
get back to you, Stephanie, so that we may be able to see if there's anything to discuss, and then we continue with our presentation.
Yeah, so I was saying that how does the average family that depends entirely on the hand-to-mouth situation, how are they able to save when it comes to strategic planning?
Okay, so now you see, like I said, let's get back to the presentation here. Like we said, an average family, each one has a choice. All right, look at it this way. We said the beauty about setting smart goals is that they cover everyone. All right, whether you are poor, you are rich, you are covered. See, we said if you are poor, can you save according to what suits your financial needs? Even if you save 1 kwacha, it's okay. It is better than 0 kwacha. Small money is better than no money. So a lot of people don't like saving. They say, you know what, my salary is small. Every time I get paid, I pay rent, I eat, I do what. But if you follow them closely, you find that they even drink alcohol, they spend more money on alcohol. Or maybe they even give out people, they don't even like money when they get paid. They spend on others. All right. So anyone can save something. Even if it's 1 kwacha, it's still a saving. Small money is better than no money. So if you are saving 1 kwacha, 1 kwacha, it's okay. What makes people fail to save? Because they say, no, I'm an average citizen. My salary is 1,500. My salary is 2,500. How can I save? I'm married. Come on now. You can save something. Even if you get a 50 kwacha from your 2,500, it is still a saving. You have where to start from. All right. So what you are discouraging here is you to set goals that are not realistic, that are not achievable, that you can't measure, that are not specific, that have no deadline. So no matter how broke or poor you may be, whatever it is that is, you can still save something according to what works for you. You can save 5% of your income, even 1% of income, even 0.00001% of your income. It is still a saving. What we are saying, when you're setting goals, can you be realistic? Whether you are a family that does hand to mouth, or whether a family that earns more, at the end of the day, it's not about how much you make, Stephanie. It's about how much money you remain with at the end of the day. Some people make 20, but they remain with 0. Some people make only 2,500 kwacha and they live very decent lives. They remain with something at the end of every month. Why? It's all about what? Strategic planning. Planning is key to everything. This word here, Stephanie, is very important. Strategic planning is key. So be realistic when planning. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or you're poor. Yeah, I think I hope I've answered you, Stephanie, and I'll be happy to take a question, another question, if at all there's a question from our audience or there's anything else, that would be quite fantastic.
Okay, so Unu Uchi says it's loud and clear. But of course, on the other side, Cecilia actually says, what happens if you realize half the way that your strategic plan is not going as you planned?
Fantastic. I think that's a fantastic question. You see, do you know why it is called strategic? It is called strategic because it's a smart plan. The word strategic means a plan that gives you a competitive advantage. So if by any means you realize that you have a plan that does not give you a competitive advantage, do what God does. What does God do when things don't go according to plan? God creates Adam and Eve, puts them into the Garden of Eden, and then he tells them, can you be fruitful? What happens? Adam and Eve sin. All right? God's initial plan is disturbed. What does God do? God says, what? I'm going to send my son to go and die for these people so that they may live. It changes the initial plan to achieve the same what? Objective. So you must have a mission. So that even if things don't go according to plan, you may find other ways of getting to that initial mission. For example, let me take you back here to this presentation here. See, we said, what is a mission? God had a mission that people should live happily on earth. All right. Satan came and disturbed this program. What does God do? God still, because he had a purpose, all right? He had certain values, certain beliefs, and certain policies. What does it do? He brings plan B in place. He sends his son to come and die for us so that we may live. So plan B is extremely important. If your plan is not working, look the other way. It's okay to look the other way, but you know the goal that you want to achieve. All right. If you are in school, Stephanie, yeah, you are in your second year. The person that pays for you says, you know what, there's no money to pay for. What are you gonna do? You're gonna say, no, what, I'm quitting school because the person that pays for me says they are not going to be paying for me. No.
No.
Yes, let them pull out, but you find other ways of paying for school fees. You can talk to, you can go and seek for a bursary, apply for a loan, borrow some money somewhere, or do whatever that you can do. But the objective, the goal, the mission is for you to do what, to graduate. So a strategic plan is one which is flexible, that puts into consideration economic environment. If things change in the environment, also change. That's the whole idea of a strategic plan. So I hope that I've answered that question. If there's anything from our audience, please feel free to ask. We'll be happy to respond. So we may continue, Stephanie.
All right. So of course, yeah, we've been looking at it from the family. I think we should be heading to the business. Yeah.
All right. So now let's go to the business side. Okay. So now, if you go to a plan, I was referring to both family and business, but now I want to go to specifically on the business side. You are the business owner. All right. You are standing at the 31st day of 2021 or 2022. You are making a plan. So this is what you should do now this year. All right. Because last year people set goals, Stephanie, and they are still shocked that nothing has worked because they didn't have a plan. So every plan, for it to work, you must understand these two things as a business. There's what you call elements or stages of strategic management. You must be a very good planner. To be a good planner, you must put these things into consideration. There's something that we call a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is a tool that we use in business to simply be able to measure both the risk and the strength of something. All right. Now, here's what happens with the SWOT analysis. We use the SWOT analysis to help us understand where can we compete as a business. All right. So as a business, look at this thing. There's S, there's W, there's O, and then there's T. The first S stands for strength. So even as a family or as a business, before you set your goals, you want to ask yourself, what is our strength? What is our biggest strength? So you can understand your strength as a family or your strength as a business. Where are you good at? If your strength is in saving, then okay, you have a strength. If your strength is in working hard, you work hard, you're able to make money, that is a strength. Then you say, what is our weakness? If your weakness is in spending money, then you want to go with a strategy that reduces on your weakness. If your strength is saving money, then you want to pick a strategy that amplifies your strength. So that's how you set plans. First of all, understand your own weakness. You are not perfect. You are a human being. You make mistakes. Can you know your weakness? If you don't know your weakness, you won't achieve your goals. Because every time you make money, somebody comes looking like they've not eaten. You say, you know what? I don't for sure. You say, here's the money. Many people have been rich through begging. Begging is a career. So know your weakness first of all. Yeah. Understand your weakness. When you know your weakness is giving unnecessarily, you just give. You just can't stop giving. It is even stressing you because now you are giving and then you go and borrow, and you even give more. Can you come up with a strategy that reduces that weakness? So understand your strength first of all and your weakness. That is that know your position before you set a goal. It is called strategic position. What is my situation right now? Be aware of your current situation. And then number two, ask yourself, number three, go to opportunities. That is O. O represents opportunity, and then T represents the threat. Then you say, okay, fine. I have this plan. So internally, you look at your weakness and your strength. Then you look outside now. You say, okay, what opportunities are there outside that I can utilize right now? For example, give an example of myself. When COVID-19 was coming, I sat down and said, okay, what can I do to make money? What opportunities there? Then I say, okay, fine, people are going to go on lockdown. That means people stop going to schools. What did I do? I quickly imported a machine that enables me to do online lecturing. And the machine came in just a week before we went on lockdown. That's how I survived, because I saw an opportunity in the economic environment and I took it. So you do the same. What opportunity is there that you want to utilize? All right. That if you delay, someone else is going to move in and utilize it. This is the part where we talk about getting loans, because there's a specific opportunity that you know is eminent, is there, you can utilize it right now. But again, look at the threats. What are some of the threats in the environment? Don't be overconfident. Be realistic when you're setting goals. It's called strategic planning for a reason. What threats are there? Look at the political environment. Look at the economic environment, social factors, demand factors, several other economic factors. All right, inflation, all those kind of things. Look at this and say, then come up with a strategy that does what? That avoids those threats, or come up with a strategy that targets those opportunities. That's how you set a plan. A plan must have a specific goal that it is going to achieve. So first of all, you understand at this level. Okay, now I'm gonna do this. Then second of all, what do you do? Now you go to what is called options. Guys, everybody has options. Whether you get 1,000 kwacha, you still have options. Whether you get 2, 5, 3, 5, 5 pin, 20, 100, and 1 million, you still have options. So when setting a plan, can you also look for options, first of all, alternatives? If this does not work, what's going to back me up? What options are there for me right now? Okay, there's this option. I can invest in government bonds, I can invest in stock, or I can invest in real estate investment trusts. So which one is good for me according to my position, my situation right now? So before you invest, before you set a goal, can you understand your situation? It's important not to kuishinga bata. Be real, because this is money you are putting in. You are not in the business of wasting money and time. You are growing. You need to be more serious with how you use your money. So now you say, okay, fine, my situation is this. Be honest. Don't lie to yourself. Then once you know your situation, then you look at the options. Now, options, you're looking at things like this. Number one, where can I compete? Right? Where can I compete? Then you find where you can compete. So that when you go to, so this is why I tell people, Stefan, that some people are selfish. They go to Mozambique or they go to Siavonga. They buy the same fish. This person comes, his fish is finished before they even get to Saka. They sell everything quickly. They go back. They say, fish has money, fish has money. You go to the same Siavonga, the same, Mozambique, the same Mpulungu. You buy the same fish. You come to Lusaka with the same fish. Nobody buys. You make losses. Why? Because you did not understand where to compete. And you also did not understand how to compete. Your friend knows where to compete. They also know how to compete. Now, you don't know that. So what do you do? Simply go, somebody says there's money in fish, you go and buy fish. Do you know the kind of clientele that they have? Do you know their clientele? Because you must have a clientele before you go and buy fish. Some people say, I'm taking orders. People press orders, they take orders, then they go and order. They are coming, they distribute. You have no information. All you do, okay, fine, I'm going to order. You go and order things, you come, nobody's buying from you. So strategic option means you should look at your options and say, from these available options, which one am I going to go with? If I go with this option, where am I going to compete with this decision? How am I going to compete? And also, where and how am I going to grow? Guys, is that making sense? Please give us some feedback. We want to know if you guys are following. Tell us what to think about this issue, guys. It's about strategic planning. We'll be happy if you can share the live, guys, and also give us your feedback. So, Comfort, Stephanie, sorry, we are at the strategic options now here. So, we identified these three things: where to compete, how to compete, where and how to grow. Because the purpose of every business is for you to be able to grow. For example, when we were starting our business, I'm gonna get back to this one here, so that you understand. I'm not talking about something I don't preach. I'm not preaching something I don't do. So here, there we go. I'm gonna take you back here. When we were starting our business, when I was starting area, I was just alone. Okay, I started alone my business, and over the years, my business has progressed. So now here's what has happened. Now I have what is called. Now I have. Okay, I'm not sure that I can't see that. Okay, it's disappeared. Okay, I'm gonna just do that. Okay, good. I'm not sure you can see that presentation. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so I can share that screen so that you can see that I'm not talking about something that I don't do. I'm not preaching something I don't do. I preach the things I do, so that you guys can look at this and say, yes, we're talking to somebody who preaches what he does. Okay. So, like I was saying, when I was starting my business, at first I was alone. All right. I was alone, I had no helper. Now we have a board. Okay. I am the chief visionary officer for my company, but because I have a vision, I have where I want to take my business. And I have these other board of directors, qualified individuals. There's this doctor, there's this, they're all these board of directors. Now I'm not alone. Now I have people that I'm working with, because the purpose of a business is for you to grow. But when I was starting, I was just alone and alone and alone. I decided on my own. I did things alone, but now I have an opportunity to grow and to work with other people. That's the whole idea of setting a strategic plan. Where do you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years? So where are you going to compete? How are you going to compete? Where and how are you going to grow? That must be part of your plan. All right. So is there any questions before we go to the next aspect, which is simply implementation? All right. If there's any question, we'll be very much happy if our audience can ask us some questions in the comments. Please, guys, participate. We want to hear your views of this topic, and what you are learning, let us know. All right. Let us know. Is there any question from either the audience or from you, Stephanie? Anything?
Okay, so Mpundu here is saying, how do you select the people that you need to grow a business with? But yeah, I'm thinking that isn't that a story for another day? Because we are talking about strategic planning, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a very good question. Like I was saying, when I
Yeah.
was selecting the people I'm going to work with, I'm an accountant myself, all right? So I looked around and said, "Fine, who can I work with? Who can complement me very well, all right?" I have colleagues I've partnered with who are lawyers. I've got a colleague who is a lawyer. I've got a director who is a doctor. I've got another director who's a chartered accountant like myself. I've got a director who's an investment manager and expert in that. So I have been able to have a plan that when choosing people to work with, I'm choosing people that are going to complement what I have, so that we can move the vision together. Because I recognize the fact that I'm not good at everything. I do not know everything. So I'm gonna go and see where am I not good. It's what we're saying here. Can you identify what you're not good at? All right. Here on the SWOT analysis, your strength and your weakness. I know my strength. I know I'm a very good salesman. That's the strength that I have. And I know that I understand things very fast, very well. So I know my strength and I also know my weaknesses. So what do? I go and partner with a friend of mine who is a lawyer. I partner with a director who's a doctor. I partner with another friend of mine who's a tax accountant. So I partner with people that have skills that are going to complement my skills, so that together we can drive the vision. So before you choose a partner, understand your weakness and understand your strength. I know my strength. I'm not going to bring somebody who is just as good as me at what I do. No, I want somebody who does something better than I do. If I'm not good at this and this somebody is good at, that's what together we can complement each other. That's how you select who you should be able to partner with. I think that was a very good question there. If there's another question, I'll be happy to respond, and I hope I've answered that question.
Yeah, of course. I see that we should be getting to wrap up. Yeah.
All right, so guys, it's unfortunate that we can't finish our presentation on strategic planning, but I'm just gonna conclude with these statements here. If you have anything you've learned, please, guys, give us in the comments under 4 minutes. This is 4 minutes before we conclude. Please tell us what you think in the comment section. Tell us how you found this presentation and let us know what you are looking forward to. Anything like that would be very much grateful. So now I'm gonna get back here, Stephanie, and just show you this in conclusion, to conclude our first aspect of course, strategic planning. All right, so there we go. Our first aspect is quite here. Our last aspect is quite here. So there you go. So like we said earlier, when you have options and you've now known where to compete, how to compete, where and how to grow, what do you do now? You do what is called the strategic implementation. There are people who are so good at making plans. They make plans, they follow everything. But one thing they're not good at is finishing. They don't finish what they study. They can start a degree program, in the third year, they drop out. They can start a relationship, they get engaged 1 week before the wedding, they pull out. They can start, building this house, this is the rental level, they sell it. There are people who are specialized in not finishing what they start. So you cannot be a high achiever if you don't finish the projects you start. Strategic action is extremely important because now after everything is said and done, what remains now is how you finish. It's not about how you started. At the end of the day, it's about how you finish, how you ended. So now strategic action means, can you now implement on the plans you've set? Can you now channel the resources, the monies required, the human resource required, the expertise, the competences, all those things that are required to now be able to bring that plan into reality before you can realize it, you begin to implement now. It could be a structure. It could be a process. It could be people that you need. It could be the technology. It could be you need to change something. All right. So be ready to implement your plans into actions so that they can be realized, they can blossom into reality. So guys, we have looked at the first aspect, of course, of strategic planning, and I can show you it is quite a handful of things. Take this free consultation, guys. I charge quite heavily for these kind of sessions. You can ask my clients who come for wealth advisory and family finance sessions. They're going to tell you I charge quite heavily for this presentation. So take notes and ask as many questions as you can. Take it as free consultation. So you can see there's quite a lot. We've got some lenses to use, some design models to use, so that you can be able to become a much better planner at what you do. If you have any question, you may feel free to ask us. But I think for today, this is where our presentation ends. And I want to say thank you so very much. I'll be happy to respond if there's any question or any contribution or things like that.
Thank you very much. This has been business and accounting. Of course, we have been talking about strategic planning. We looked at the family and the business. Till next time again on Tuesday, it's a bye for now.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much.